What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I want to break down what's going on with Tesla, SPY, Nvda, the QQQ, and a couple of other tickers. Talk about some new news that just came out for Tesla that's very important, what you should be watching for as time progresses. But before I break into detail about this information, before I give you guys a very quick update about what the market is doing, let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Put in $1,000 and you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, Tesla's trying to get a rebound, about to test 176.5 as resistance, and above that we have 177.6, followed by 180 as resistance if you end up getting up there. For support, watch 175, see if Tesla could hold that. If it loses that, 173.75 is coming. Overall, the market is trying to rebound for some tickers such as the QQQ and SPY, but some tickers are also underperforming from Apple to Tesla, and the market is just all over the place. Now, in the morning, if you look at SPY, it's pretty crazy price action. We started off with a little dump when CPI came out, then we pushed all the way up to 514, then we dumped back down to about this 510 area. Now we're back up to 516. It's been back and forth price action all over the place. I did give you guys a warning that this could have been a fake out move where we could have like popped and dropped. We did drop, but then we saw net flow shift because a lot of these buyers came back and started pushing the market up higher. So we're going to be watching some key levels of resistance. QQQ and SPY are holding up very well, but other tickers like Aapl are still kind of weak, not holding up as well as they could have. Nvidia is doing well, and other tickers are still holding up. So the market's been pretty crazy, but I am expecting a very, very big reaction after we get the 10-year note auction today at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So look for some volatility at 1 p.m. and we'll see what happens. But with that being said, Tesla's trying to push a bit. We did have some negative news nonetheless about Tesla, so I want to just talk about that before I break down more things. But basically, we have some updates right here. Tesla's pushing for a new FSD beta version 12 update. No new nodes, but Musk is still saying it's a big release, which is going to be very critical for some improvements to be made in the neural nets. That's going to be very important. It's an end-to-end neural net improvement. And it's going to be a big difference maker in their next version. So that's actually some good news for them. They're going to be replacing another 300,000 lines of code, which could be very, very useful. But I do want to talk about these delivery expectations. That's part of why Tesla got a tip today. So Deutsche Bank has come out and they wrote that Tesla may miss the consensus estimates by a wide margin. They're saying that they're lowering their Q1 estimates to about 427,000, down from 476,000 due to Model 3 productions potentially decreasing, not to mention the Cybertruck ramp being slower than expected and weaker EV demand. They also said that they cut their full year deliveries estimate to 1.96 million, below the consensus of 2.1 million. There's also this news that came out that Tesla got a poor rating when it comes to its automated driving safety test. This is some pretty big news. What's known as the IIHS, it basically came out. This is the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety. They came out and they made some very, very important, bold claims. They claim they've been doing tests on the automated systems and Tesla's ability to do what it has to do. And only Lexus basically earned an adequate rating that's acceptable. Everything else from Nissan, Tesla, BMW, they all were rated very, very poorly on their automakers, on these automakers' systems, which are used for driver assistance, driving systems, and things like that, safety features, emergency braking, and things just like that. So they gave Tesla a very poor rating, which is a little bit negative, but everything else got similar ratings as well, except for Lexus. So that's worth noting. But as far as the price action goes, Tesla did get this dump as we talked about in the morning, but today is a very volatile day. So the market is not just going to dump and then end from there. It's going back and forth and back and forth. It's all over the place. Tesla did get this dump as I warned you guys about in the morning, but now it's getting bought back up with the market. We're going to be watching 177.6 as our next resistance and 180 above that. Let's see if Tesla could try to follow the trend. There was bad news that came out in the morning, which caused Tesla to dip a bit, but now it's getting bought back up thanks to SPY. So let's see how high this continues to push. And then don't forget that at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the 10-year notes auction coming out. So we're going to see how this ends up affecting Tesla. For SPY, I just want to call out that SPY, on the other hand, this is still bullish right now. We're going to be watching 516.5 as resistance. If it breaks this, There's 517.5, and potentially even 518. We got this nice breakout from this falling wedge, but just be a little bit careful and see where this thing ends up trying to top. It's pretty crazy how much it pumped and how crazy the price action was. There were signals that showed this thing could actually turn. I give you guys a warning about that. We did turn down. We basically hit 510, pushed back up to 515, came back down to 510, and now we're back to 516. So it was all over the place. It didn't really get the dump yet that I was potentially talking about. It did dump actually intraday, but then it got bought back up. So for now, what I'll tell you is that we're still on an uptrend overall. It was very hard to read in the beginning. Lots of trickery was going on. But now it's pushing. It could push it even higher, but make sure you watch this resistance at 516.5, 517.5, which is where you have this imbalance, and 518 is where we have some tight resistance. And we'll see how this reacts to the all-time high if it gets up there. But for now, watch 516.5. It could push a little bit higher, so watch for that. For support, watch 515, 514.2, 513, and etc. SPY is bullish right now. It could push higher. I'm saying it could still push higher, but be careful as the higher we go. For the QQQ, it's the same thing essentially, except it's not as strong as SPY. We had this falling wedge breakout that occurred, and we have 442 as our potential target. Uh, Once this breaks, there's 443.5 coming, and if that breaks, we have potential to go up to 444. Overall, the QQQ is bullish. It could push higher slowly. I could see 443.5 coming. But just be careful at resistance here. For support, watch 442. If we lose this, our next target is going to be all the way down here at 440 flat, followed by 438. But I do believe that there is potential for this to push even higher. QQQ is bullish overall, so we'll see how it goes. For others out there like Nvda, they're also showing some strength. Nvda is still doing quite well, trying to hold up. We're basically approaching this 900 area. We just broke past 900, so it was very indecisive going back and forth and back and forth. But now we got a breakout. So because it broke this high, we're back to bullish on Nvidia. Watch 908 as a potential target. If that breaks, 915 could be coming next. We're going to watch how well it holds above 900. Our support below that is 892, 885, and then 880. Overall, the chart is bullish. We'll see how this does, but looking pretty good so far. On Apple, in my opinion, is also looking uh, not the strongest. I wouldn't necessarily say it's that strong. It's actually looking relatively weak. The reason for that is because we had this uptrend, right? It was trying to hold this yellow trend line, bounced. Then we broke below this all the way down to 170.9. Now we're trying to come back up and we're kind of rejecting off this yellow trend line again. So it's a little bit below that, not looking the strongest. So make sure you watch 172.5 is kind of shuffling around here. If we lose that, 170.9 is coming, and resistance is at the yellow trend line, very close to 172.8 to 173. With that being said, guys, that's it for the main five. Just know that SPY, it's holding up quite well. We could retest 516.5, even break that potentially. And once we break that, we could start to push to higher levels in the future. If we do reject on 516.5 and continue to sink, 514 is going to be our next target. It's actually starting to reject right here, so it could drop a little bit lower, but just know that there's still potential for it to get bought back up. The real move is going to come as we get closer to the 10-year note auction at 1 p.m., so watch for volatility then, and we'll have to see how it goes. Tesla is still relatively weak because of the negative news that came out, so make sure you're prepared for that. We're watching resistance right here at these levels. We came very, very close to our target of 177.6, but now watch resistance there. Does Tesla get a rejection here or not? Be a little bit careful. On top of this, watch the levels for the other tickers out there. We also have Super Micro, which is pushing up very nicely, came very close to our 1150 targets. But watch and see if we get a rejection off that. If we do reject off that, we could retrace it a little bit towards 1128 and even 1116. For Amazon, we're pushing up very nicely. We got a very, very nice push so far, and we'll see how it reacts right here. But if we do retrace, watch 175 as support, 176.75 is resistance, and 175 is support. And for Meta, we have like 502 being a liquidity grab. It's coming back down to retest our 20 EMA at 495. So we'll see how it does there, and also at 492. And then watch and see if we get a bounce again off those levels. So the market, it's still bullish right now. It's still bullish overall, but make sure you watch resistance. Resistance is getting tighter on SPY, also for Tesla. And we had this news that came out that wasn't really the best when it comes to their safety ratings and things like that. So we'll see how things go. I'll see you guys in just about a couple of hours, a little bit over 2 hours from now. Let's see how big of a reaction we get once the bill auction comes out. And until then, I thank you all so much for listening. I'll be giving you guys another update on Elon Musk in just a couple of hours. And I just want the best for everyone nonetheless. All right. So have a great day, guys. Do what you have to do, and peace out.